was diagnosed with a very aggressive form of breast cancer called locally advanced breast cancer. And I went through conventional treatment for it, and while I was in chemo, I did a lot of research into macrobiotics, and it's something that I was very interested in and made a lot of sense to me. But I didn't actually get started with it until I was done chemo and had some tests done and was told that my breast cancer had spread to my spine and that my cancer was considered to be stage 4, and my doctors really didn't have any different treatment for me. They were just going to continue with what I was doing, and I was told I had 2 or 3 years to live. So that's when I sort of dove headfirst into macrobiotics and went immediately into a very, very strict healing diet and changed virtually everything about my lifestyle. On a level of food, and a level of spirituality, I basically, from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep, was living and breathing healing. And I went into a very, very simple diet, mainly of whole grains and vegetables done in a very simple way, and some miso soup and seaweeds, and very, very simple. To tell you the truth, at that time I didn't really enjoy my food very much because I was used to living in a very indulgent way with my eating. So my body started to change really, really quickly, and I went through very big discharge, and at the same time, even though I was feeling a little not so great by getting rid of all these toxins from my body from the chemo and radiation and everything, I felt like something really good was happening in my body. And a few months had passed, and it's really funny because the doctors could say, you have 2 or 3 years to live, but I'm saying to myself, like, how is that even possible, because I feel so good. You know, I'd lost all the weight that I gained from chemo. When you're in chemo, you're on steroids. I gained like 30 pounds. I'd lost all of that, and I started to feel really fit and energetic and just better than I ever felt in my life, even better than when I was in high school. And I spent my days doing lots of positive imagery and, you know, meditating and feeling well, and I thought, this isn't possible that I can be as sick as they tell me and feel so good. And what's pretty amazing is I ended up getting kind of a miracle, because I was sent to a doctor that specialized in bone cancers, and he had a study going on where he would biopsy the spine where they found my lesion and compare it to the cancer that they took from my breast, just to see how the cancer changes. So breast cancer can live off of hormones, or it could not live off of hormones, just to see how it changes, and it was a study to see how it would change your treatment. So at that point I was feeling already pretty well, and I said to the doctor, you know, I'm feeling really good, you know, maybe it'll come back negative for cancer. And he said to me, Danielle, you know, it's very nice that you're being so positive, but, you know, you have to accept what you've got and, you know, face reality, because it's not possible, you know, that doesn't happen. Once cancer leaves your breast, it's not curable, you know, you have to accept that this is what you have. So I had this biopsy done from my spine, and they got a couple of good samples, and the amazing thing is that it came back negative with no cancer cells in this spot in my spine that they had biopsied, which is completely the opposite of what all these doctors believed that was possible. I really contribute macrobiotic lifestyle towards my healing. I'm not saying that macrobiotics is a cure for cancer. It's probably a combination of everything I did. You know, like I said, I was doing lots of positive imagery, and I lived the life of a healthy person, and I did not accept what the doctors had given me as my fate. You know, in combination with the food I was eating and just the changes my body was going through was so drastic and so dramatic, and I just felt well for the first time in my life. So I got to experience a miracle, and you know, that two years has passed already, and I'm still here, and I'm still feeling really great. I have CAT scans done every 6 months, and nothing new has shown up. And I think in the beginning my doctors were really expecting something new to show up. But nothing has. And I feel great. I've got 2 young children, and I plan on raising them to be adults and being here for them. And
so how has macrobiotics affected your personal life? With being with your family?
What I found really interesting, because I went into it as an anti-cancer diet, the first change that I found was how it changed my mood and my emotions. Because when you're being told that you have 2 or 3 years to live, it's very easy to fall into a depression. Which, not to say that I didn't. I did for maybe a week or so, and then I made this decision to change my life. And it's when your food is in balance and you're not constantly fighting extreme foods, the first thing I noticed was how my mood became very mellow, and you know, I took time to meditate and to breathe and to focus on myself, and I just found that it became so much easier to deal with this prognosis that the doctors had given me, and just to enjoy life.
So what your advice would be for people going through the same thing?
My biggest advice would be that you are the best person to make decisions for yourself, because my life has really a fine art between living between a macrobiotic lifestyle and doing conventional treatment, because I still receive some drugs and chemo, which they're not technically chemo drugs, but that's my decision to continue doing that. And I think that anybody has to make their own decisions, because that's really what macrobiotics is about, is making the right decisions for yourself and to live your life in a balance of what's right for you, whether that would mean eating certain types of food or doing certain types of medicine or not doing them.
So it's quite a scary process for a lot of people finding out.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is the best way for people to go to classes or find a counsellor?
Yeah, I've had a couple of consultations with a couple of counselors. Most of my studies was just on my own, reading books. I took quite a few cooking classes because you don't want to get bored with your food. You have to enjoy your food, and you have to enjoy your life, and eating's a really big part of it. So just broadening your ability to make things and keep yourself interested. And
okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.